Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. Shaka, Hislop with us in the studio. Shaka, last time we were together till you go on holiday.
You're going on holiday tomorrow.
Why are you talking like that?
I'm just saying. Don't make it sound like that. I'm here tomorrow.
Yeah, but tomorrow,
where are you?
Tomorrow's the start of my weekend, but I'm not going in. You're going. You're leaving us for a week.
I maybe, yes.
Why have you gone all shy and stealth about it?
I'm just saying. No,
right.
Nothing.
If you want to talk about it, that's fine.
I don't want to talk about it.
That's fine. Don wants to talk about his garage that he is...
It's coming along very nicely,
yeah,
Don.
Exactly, Don. What
it is
looking good.
Yeah?
It is. Look, I've had some little shirts put on the wall over there, all nice and dandy.
Lovely.
Look, and then there's some little Scotland shirts up here. Look, some little shirts up there. Look, we have a little tweak up
very
there.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I like a bit of off camera. And what's the champagne? Is that from a Man of the Match from a while ago, is it?
I don't want to talk about it, Dan, but just a few Man of the Match awards that I've collected over the years. You know, quite a few.
How can you have champagne in your house and not drink it, Don?
It's probably gone off. It's like 20 years old. Probably not good.
That doesn't sound great, is it?
No.
Not as many champagne bottles behind Alli.
No.
Not as many Man of the Match awards.
Alli drank his. 20 years old and all.
Alli sold them.
I'll have you know that the ones over, hold on, let me see, over this shoulder over here that you cannot see, those are plaques that are actually Men of the Match plaques. So I don't need the champagne, Dan.
We need
People
to see
knew
it.
that when I was a Man of the Match, they give me something that I need to drink.
You got to pick it off the shelf,
These
Alli.
over here that you can't see. I can do that. I can say, oh, look at these grabbing over there. Where Grammy Award.
Looks like just a bit of glass.
You want me to get it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want me to get it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Fine then.
We need evidence.
Oh, that's it. Look,
I'm a
Alli,
team player.
Alli
I'm all
moves a bit like an old
over
man,
here.
doesn't he? Right, here we go. Oh, this is taking longer than we hoped. Right. There we go. Oh, what are the pants there? Oh, no, not... Here we go.
Oh. What, just one?
What's that say?
Goal of the year?
Goal of the year.
Goal
Talk
of the
us through
year.
the goal.
This one.
What was the goal of the year? Is that 2007? I heard that was
It was a beautiful goal. That's what it was.
Sparse year for goal.
There were three goals.
Let's see what else. Oh, you're gonna like. Oh, this is a good one. The hardest working man. Yes, sir.
That is.
Ali's buying his own awards.
Wow,
Ali's buying his own awards. I'm
the
sure.
Endeavour Award. He tried really hard.
He's just getting a piece of glass and a Sharpie.
He was shocking, but he worked hard.
I got
Here's
more.
the award.
Exactly. He works that one. Man of the Match 2003.
See?
What?
What was that?
There are a few. There are a few of
What was
these
that?
here.
Under 14.
Don't you worry about it.
Don't you worry about it. He just dropped it on the floor.
Hey, I was a bad man in under 14. I'm gonna tell you that much.
Wow. Goodness me. Some say you peaked, Alli. That's rude. For Dom, do you think your mate Frank can get a tune out of Dele and Donny?
14.
What is the strategy behind signing two players completely out of favour at their previous clubs?
Because they're talented players, Dan, and I think you can get a tune out of them. I would be stunned if Donny van der Beek doesn't go into Everton and not score goals. I will guarantee you he will score goals because Frank will put an arm around him. He'll get him back to top form. We've all got egos. Egos like to be massaged. He'll play him in the right position. He'll give him minutes. He'll give him 90 minutes. He'll play him every single game. Dele's a little bit more of a tricky one because, you know, I think it's all down to Dele, this one. I think he can't keep going through the amount of managers like Pochettino, like Nuno, like Jose, like Conte, and keep blaming the managers. I think Dele's got to look in the mirror. But hopefully, out of London, up onto Merseyside, playing for Everton, playing for
What's
Frank.
happening in London, Don?
Well, I think it might be a little bit too much for him at times. It gets to us all sometimes, London. So away from the bright lights of London, get up to Merseyside and concentrate on your football.
What did London do to you, Shane?
Nothing. I was fine.
You okay?
I was very fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I don't understand the. I don't understand the last part of that question. What's the strategy behind it? Who else is supposed to sign? De Bruyne?
All right, Shane. Calm
Just
down.
saying.
It's just a question.
Sorry.
You need some sort of holiday.
You need a holiday,
That
Shaq.
was London. That was the
Shaq,
London.
you need a holiday.
Exactly. Don, how are you in London?
You should ask me
I'm
that
good
question.
now.
You should ask me about Don in London.
Yeah, how-
I don't
Yeah.
want to answer. Nope.
How was Don in
No,
London?
ask Don. Let Don answer. How was Don in London?
Bit naughty.
I'm good. I'm good now, Dan. I wasn't good when I was young. The bright lights of London got me.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they drag you in. London drags you in.
Is that when you got those terrible tattoos?
Yes, got the strawberry tattoo. Yeah, London's got a way of dragging you in, the bright lights, and you can take your eye off the ball.
Wow. Very, very similar to Bristol, Connecticut here.
So the bright lights come on and you get a strawberry tattoo.
Yeah.
That's what you do when the lights come on.
That's it.
I don't understand that at all, Don.
With a couple of games left in, was Columbus similar, Alli?
The bright lights of Columbus.
The bright lights of Columbus.
You get a strawberry tattoo?
You know what I find amazing is how Shaka, even though the lights were bright, how Shaka manages to stay under the radar. He is the best stealth sort of fighter in this whole group. He can disappear with the best of them. I'm going to tell you that much about Shaka.
Yeah, those invisible lights.
Don't think you missed a Christmas party though, Shaq. You never missed a Christmas party in London.
No, I know.
The next question, Dan.
Even if he wasn't invited. Shaka's at the Chelsea Christmas party. What are you doing here? How much does team tactics... Oh, sorry. Alli, with a couple of games left in the CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying matches, which team would be the biggest disappointment if they weren't to get to the top 4?
Well, the fifth team will still have an opportunity to go through the playoffs. So we're going to say about the ones that are actually not going to the World Cup, and it would have to be Colombia. They were comfortably in a few matches ago, and then, well, they simply stopped scoring. It's difficult to win games when you don't score goals, and they are now 7 games in a row in which they haven't scored a goal. We've already talked about this, and Colombia, with the talent level that they have available for that team, it's hard to see that team not qualifying. But man, it's also just as hard to see a team lacking confidence in the way that they are. A team that is technically so gifted cannot even complete a couple of passes, and in front of goal, they are a nightmare. I can relate, but they're a nightmare.
Listen to this, Shaq. Ready? How much does team tactics formation affect a player's performance? Standard question. There's more. Last week, Don said he could play anywhere and still score from the halfway line. But good players like Dele and Dembele and Lo Celso all performed terribly under more defensive managers at Spurs. Is Don just a real goat?
Well, Matthew's fibbing there because I said I could play most positions, Dan. I never said I could play most positions and still score from the halfway line.
Right.
I mean, he's added something on there that I would never ever say. You know, what I was saying was, Dan, if you've got a high level, no, because that sounds arrogant. If you've got a football brain, I think you can pick up most positions on the pitch.
Wow, I don't know what Matthew Cameron's ever done to you, Don. He was just having a little joke, a little laugh.
It's a fair question, but he's trying to chuck in that I could play in any position and still score. That's not fair.
All right, Don.
It's almost as though he's offended that said he scored from the half line. I can't score from the half line in every single position.
No, I know. He's never scored from the halfway line.
No, he's not.
Apart from his claim.
Don scoring from the half line is just a general term for scoring a goal from any point on the park.
How do players cope with contrasting coaching philosophies like Rodri under Simeone and Pep, Shaka? Did you make or cancel a move because of the playing style?
For me?
Yeah.
I'm a goalie. What kind of question is that to ask me?
You haven't answered the question yet.
No, but you called my name.
Well, yes, because I wanted to get you involved.
I don't want to be involved.
Right, fine. If your voice is going to go that high.
Spicy.
Don,
the show is spicy. This is a spicy show tonight. No, you just yeah, well, the manager tells you where you want to play, and you go, okay, boss, how much you paying me? What position do you want to play me in? Yes, I will do it.
What if you couldn't score from the halfway line?
Well, then play me at right back. Play me at right back then. I'll do a job there.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. Don, what percentage chance of Liverpool winning the Champions League after their signing of Luis Diaz?
Oh, who have they got in the next round? Inter Milan, isn't it, in the next round? I think they'll be Inter. Percentage chance. I think it's quite strong. I think it would be a good 30%.
Oh. So how would others be distributed? What would Manchester City be, Don?
30.
And then what about someone like Bayern Munich?
Oh, where are we? 60? 30? 30?
What about Real Madrid?
What did you say for Bayern, Don?
30.
50 for Bayern.
30. And then what about PSG?
And Real Madrid?
PSG 0. Real Madrid 10.
Chelsea?
Oh yeah, I forgot about them. Well, I'm gonna have to say no chance now, aren't I? I've done my Liverpool. I've done my Liverpool, Man City, Bayern, Real Madrid 10. The rest of them, no chance.
That's it. No, 0
That's
for
it.
everybody else. They're doomed. They're done. Assuming top form and fitness, start, sit or drop, Ali. Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, Christian Pulisic. Well, Pulisic's been dropped today, hasn't he? So that's easy.
Start Dempsey. Start Dempsey. He's comfortable in this position, so bench Pulisic and drop Donovan.
Wow. What have you got against Landon Donovan?
Absolutely nothing.
Why does he not get ahead of Christian Pulisic?
And I gave you 3 answers.
Wow. Would you agree?
I think all
I wanted to tell you is that Pulisic is very comfortable on the bench, so, you know, that's where he should be.
That's what you get about.
I think I'll bench Donovan.
Yeah? You get rid of Pulisic?
Yeah.
For all three, name the best captain you've ever played under, and what did you learn from that player's leadership? Don famously given the Everton captain's armband. Took it off Duncan Ferguson. Bit busy behind the scenes. Don was asking for it.
No, I don't think Paolo would have given us any good pointers. Shaka, would he?
No. Canio?
Canio wasn't a good
Steve
captain.
Steve Lomas was a captain when I was there.
Yeah, Paolo nicked it a few times.
Yeah, but no music.
Any captain, Don, you thought, oh, you're good?
Yeah, I think Mark Wright at Liverpool.
You're right.
I think Dave Watson at Everton. Before Dunk got the armband, solid pros. Dave Watson played on till he was 40. England's Mark Wright at Liverpool, brilliant centre half, outstanding just a great man. Looked after himself, wise words. When he spoke, everyone sort of listened. Experienced pro. I'd probably say people like Dave Watson and Mark Wright, really.
Don, what's the picture behind you where someone's very smart? Is that a family member?
Picture? That is Howard Kendall. That is Howard Kendall. Yeah, I was at Howard's funeral many years ago. One of the best managers I've ever played for, Dan. Absolute gent.
Oh, what captain for you, Shane?
Peter Beardsley and Rob Lee at Newcastle.
Really?
Yeah.
Could you understand what Peter Beardsley was saying?
Yeah, it's you got to figure it out after a while. it does take some getting used to. No, but in all seriousness, Peter, obviously this was after his Liverpool days, and he still was one of the hardest workers on the training ground. I mean, he really was a class player, even then, on the downside of his career. And it was incredible to see how, on the training ground, in games, everything, how he applied himself.
What about you, Ali?
I would say Jose Manuel Rey for the Venezuelan national team, well respected in South America, but more so than what he was in the locker room or on the field. When you play for a team like Venezuela, there are many challenges even before we get to playing. And one of those was negotiating the essentially the money that you would be paid and how that money would be allocated among the players and how that would be negotiated with the federation. He was great in being able to get in the room with the federation president and be able to sort out that was beneficial for everybody. And I was in that room and took part in those negotiations, and to see him kind of taking the interest of the players, not only him individually, but of the group as well, and what the big picture was for the national team, I thought that was impressive.
Did you ever get an injury where in that moment you felt your career might be over? What was going through your mind at that moment? When you broke your leg, Shaq, did you think?
I didn't. the pain never hit me. I actually heard the bone crack.
It's because you're so strong.
Well,
what a man. What a man you are,
I'm trying to
Shaq.
tell you all that, Dan. Keepers are just the toughest players in the park.
Broke my leg, didn't feel it. No problem.
I heard the bone crack and it went down. But, you know, so I was kind of thinking, yeah, the pain is going to kick in any minute. So I just did not move. But because I didn't feel the pain sitting right then, I didn't feel like, yeah, this is a career end.
Right. So there was never a moment.
No, I thought at this point, broken legs are fine. You know,
Right.
Even then, things like ACLs and so were more the ones that threaten careers.
I see.
A broken leg players can come back from.
What about you, Don?
Snapped ACL at West Ham. And that was it, Dan. I thought I was done. I hyperextended my knee, which, you know, once you go into hyperextension, your knee snaps back. I heard the sort of pop. It's a weird noise when you do an ACL. You hear a pop, and then, like Shaka said, you're waiting for the pain. The adrenaline must kick in. And I was on the stretcher 5 minutes before half time. I came in. Glenn Roeder, the West Ham boys, come in to see me at half time, and I said to the gaffer, I said, I think I've overreacted. I said, I think I'm fine. I had no pain, and the doctor done the sort of lax text where he takes your ankle one way, your knee the other, and nothing's supposed to move, and everything just moved. And the doc went, "You ain't going nowhere. You've done your ACL." And I thought, that is career over. And I went out to see. I had a guy in London who was a really good surgeon. I had Richard Steadman, who's been in my knee about 5 times in Vale, outstanding surgeon. But I went to a guy called I went to Canada, Vancouver, and the guy was amazing. Took half my hamstring away, used that as the graft. Brutal rehab. You never think you're going to make it back. You've got to go to the well. It's painful every single day. And then you get through about 6, 8, 9 months, and then somehow you find your way back with a lot of physiotherapy.
Did it affect you mentally, Don, like going into challenges?
Yeah. It did, Dan, because, you know, in a footballer's mind, all you want to do is get your boots back on. So there's a slow process without boring you. You know, you're running in straight lines. Yes, I can run in a straight line. So you do that for a couple of weeks. Right, can you put your boots on and run in a straight line? Yes. Right, you ready for twisting and turning? Yes, a couple of weeks of that. Then a little bit of ball work, and your time's up. You're sort of into 9 months of work then, lots of gym work. But there's nothing like, you know, most of my rehab was like volleying the ball like laces, and everything was fine. I could do it. And then I was 9 months and I was physically fit, not mentally fit. And there was a ball in front of me, and the physio going, go on. He went, go and whip that into the top corner. And the last thing I wanted to do was whip a ball, because I thought it was going to sort of tweak my knee. Sure. And I was petrified, absolutely petrified of doing it. And it took me weeks on end.
Mentally, Don, what's it like for those first few months? Like, it must be very lonely in the sense that you normally associate with your team members, part of the squad, training every day, and you're kind of almost like the leper in the corner that no one wants too much to do with. That must be tough, like 24/7, like watching games and things. Was it difficult?
Very, but the worst part is, Dan, early on, where once you've had your surgery, and the lads will probably tell you, once you've had your surgery in your back, everyone actually then makes a fuss of you. So first person will come in and he'll say, oh, how's your knee? What was the operation like? And then you bore him with the story. He goes out the door, then another one comes in. By about 5 players in, you're like, lads, can you stop asking me? It's like, I'm doing my own head in. I'm probably doing your head in. You're not really that interested. You're just being kind. And then, as you said, you're looking out of a window. Shaka knows what it's like at Chadwell when you're training in porter cabins and it's horrible and there's no heating on. And you're looking through a glass window, you're sitting on the bike, and you can see all the boys training, giggling, laughing, doing all their normal football things, and you're sitting there and you think, crikey, I'm 2 months in to a 10-month injury. And honestly, it's lonely, it's horrible. And then you get to a point where you've got to have a good physio, and we had a good physio, me and Shaka, John Green. And John Green got me, I think 8.5, 9 months into rehab, and then he said to me, right, get on holiday, have 2 weeks off, go and do what you need to do, sit on a beach, go mad, have a drink, whatever you've got to do, just get it all out your system. When you come back, be ready to work. And then that was it. I had 2 weeks off, I came back that day, 10 months, right, I'm back.
Meanwhile, Alli, never really had a big injury, and that's what you get for being the hardest working man in 2007. That's what it is, Ali.
Wait.
Reap the hard working rewards.
That's it, baby. That's it. But to the point that, wait a second, there we go. Hey, man of the match, hardest working man. To the point that Don was making, though, you know what's interesting is that, and I know it sounds unreasonable, but when somebody has a major injury like that, once you go through the pleasantries of asking how he's doing and the recovery and what have you, part of the reason as to why other players, at least from my perspective, you leave those guys alone is because while it may sound unreasonable, you kind of think, you know what, this is somewhat contagious. I don't want anything to do with this. I don't want to be around a guy who just did his knee.
Brilliant.
I don't want to go through that process. Let him be and let him have his recovery, and we wish him well. But this sort of thing is contagious, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Wow.
It's a football. It's a football thing, you know, Dan. The lads will tell you. If anyone's got crutches inside of a football ground, no one will touch anyone's crutches. Not for any money. Not for any money on the planet. If a footballer says to you, "Can you hold my crutches?" You're like, "Sorry, mate, no."
And he just falls over.
Relax.
Sorry.
You need to get up. You need to get up.
No.
We do down there. We do down there.
I'm not touching his crutches. I'm not touching them.
Final question. This is a great question.
Okay.
Did Shaka become a popular baby name in Trinidad and Tobago after Mr. Hislop's storied career?
Well, I never knew anyone, growing up, I never knew anyone named Shaka.
Right.
And then probably when I was about 15 or 16, there was a family moved in a few houses from us. Suddenly the name was Shaka, young son. And I know a couple more now.
So 2006, after those heroics against Sweden.
I don't know what people name their kids.
So no one's reached out to you and said, I was named after you?
No.
No?
No. I've had a few people, well, from before, even before, name their pets after me.
Well, yeah, we had someone who worked here whose rabbits were called Shaka and Hislop.
Reading fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was a bit strange. Makes sense.
What the rabbit said.
You're right, Don. What's wrong?
I'm just trying to think of the guy who named these rabbits after Shaka Hislop.
Oh.
I mean, strange, isn't it?
Don't think too hard, Dom. It's okay. It's okay. No, I mean, it's not. Trust me, it's not a big deal.
That is it.
Is that it?
We're done.
You're off on holiday now, Dan.
Ali's off to polish his awards.
He's off to make another one.
He's giving fingerprints off. Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.